Peace, peace. Ali coming back at you on behalf of SAliMyers.com. Alright, in this video, I want to talk about putting celebrities and famous people on the altar. We have this mindset that an altar is only dedicated to your ancestors and deities, and that's far, far, far from the truth. Just to recap, if you're not familiar with an altar is a dedicated space that serves as a portal or gateway to the spirit realm. Now, obviously it's common for people to have an ancestor and or deity altar because those are the most common things. But the thing is, you can have anything on an altar, literally anything. So you can have an altar dedicated to just plants. You can have an altar dedicated to your die-cast card collectibles. You know, people have altars anyway. And one of the things that I've heard is like people have an altar with living or dead people on the walls, especially melanated people. You go to anybody's crib in the neighborhood, more than likely they have deceased relatives on the wall. That's an altar. Now, what makes an altar a living space is when you give offerings on a regular basis. This is food, fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, etc., etc. And you're giving regular prayers or saying words spoken. That's what makes the altar alive. So just anything could be an altar. What brings it alive is the actual energy you put into it. So with that said, if you have a celebrity, a famous person, a family member, anybody that's living or past that they're not related to you, you can place them on the altar. Say for instance that you are an athlete and you play basketball and you want to get your basketball skills up. Now you're slick at dunking, your free throw game is on point, you got handles, you throwing assists, you dishing a pill, you slick. But your 3-point game is lacking. So say you wanted to invoke the energy of Steph Curry. All you have to do is put a picture of Steph Curry on your altar. Now, the science and the magic happens is when you program, how are you talking to your altar? With Steph Curry on the altar, using that same example, I would say something like, thank you for giving me the energy to make more 3-pointers. Thank you for giving me the confidence to believe that I can make every 3-pointer imaginable. Thank you for invoking the energy to make the 3-point line look just like the free throw line, and my mentality goes at the 3-pointer like I'm making a free throw. Whatever you got to say to convince your mind that what you're saying is real. Over time, you continuously give that offering, you continuously say your prayer, and I recommend saying the same prayer every time so it takes the energy of a mantra. You continuously do that, what you'll notice is your 3-point game is going to get better. Now, eventually, you'll get to the point where you may not have to program the altar as much. But that's a simple example of what you can do with an altar. Now, if you wanted more finances, you might want to put someone like Mansa Musa on an altar or Warren Buffett on the altar. And it doesn't matter if they're a part of your culture or anything like that. Like I said, the bloodline, that's important for your ancestors. But if you're doing an altar or a space dedicated to invoke different energy and different power, it doesn't matter what culture, what race, what gender, if they're living, they're past, none of that matters. We're dealing with energy. So their personality doesn't matter. Their likes and dislikes doesn't matter. If you have someone on your altar and you're specifically attempting to harness that power, one particular thing, finances, love, relationships, whatever, then that's what you're programming the altar for, and that's what you're going to invoke. The key is to be very specific with why you're putting that particular person on your altar. Now, if you do not want to dedicate an entire space to the celebrity or famous person, you can just put them with your ancestors and or deities. Now, what I recommend, if you're placing celebrities, famous people, or non-deities on a deity altar, I got this tip from Discovering Your Spiritual Parents by Michael S. DeJohnte, which is a pen name for Master Dr. Mitchell Gibson. And you can find that book at tybro.com, Tybro.com. But in that book, he recommended that you elevate the deities. So if you have a bookshelf or a tier system, you can place the deities above the humans. And what that shows is just a certain level of respect. I know I switch my altar. I'm continuously switching up how I do my altar work. I do it the same way, but every few months I do it differently. But what I've been doing here of late is when I'm addressing the deities, I get down on my knees and I bow like all the way down so the deities are elevated above me, and it shows a level of respect. Now in a deeper aspect, these deities are you, but while you're in human form, you have less of a rank than the gods or whatever. So just to recap, you can put anybody or anything on your altar. And in this particular video, I want to recommend that you find a celebrity or famous person whose attributes or characteristics or whatever they have you're wanting to invoke in your life. Place them on your altar, give a regular prayer, regular prayers and offerings, and I recommend doing this daily. Invoke the energy, program the altar for what you want. So tell the altar, tell that being, that energy, exactly what you want. And then over time, what you'll notice is you'll start to invoke that energy. So this has been Ali. You want to find out more information about myself and what we do, be sure to visit my website, salimyers.com. If you're looking for metaphysical tools and supplies, altar work supplies, be sure to visit our online metaphysical superstore, l9shop.com. That's the letter EL, the number 9, shop.com. Until next time, this has been Ali. Peace.